we're never going to win. We're never going to beat them. And what I'm talking about is simping and stopping simps. Here's my 5 reasons why I think we're never going to defeat simps in no particular order. 1, there's always going to be young men, right? Simping is a spectrum, right? You start off blue-pilled, then you learn how to simp and court gesture and whatever, dance for women's attention and approval. And then you have to slowly learn to grow out of that and then like yourself and then love yourself and then trust yourself to stop behaving in a way that isn't natural, right? But there's always going to be young men who their biology is going to override them. You got to remember, think about when you were a teenager. Could someone stop you if you wanted to simp for a girl? No. Like you were just, like it was just acceptable behavior, right? Because that's how you showed like that you like a girl. From the time we're like little, we're taught that. From the time that they're little, they're taught that men are supposed to chase or pursue that, right? Number 2, if we know that it's a spectrum and the way the society is going, nobody's getting married. The only people having kids are women that are having kids with the top, I guess, 20% or whatever, right? There's going to be way more single moms because even if the women aren't having babies with the top 20%, they're going to go get an IVF baby, right? Because they're pushing off marriage and relationships. And what is that single mom going to do? Raise a boy, right? And we know what happens with that according to statistics, according to the red pill, right? You're going to be around women, learn how to communicate like women, and then learn how to be a simp for women because she's probably going to raise you to simp for men, for women if you are a son of a single mom. So that's not going anywhere. So by the time we undo all that by having male leadership around him or break it to him until he gets heartbroken enough, that's going to be another simp. Number 3, if you have a mother and father, but the mom wears the pants, you're going to have a simp because you're going to have a boy growing up realizing that this is okay for women, my mom, to talk to my dad like this. And he never fights back. And that could be for a multitude of reasons. It could be because he doesn't want to argue in front of his kid, but she doesn't care, or he doesn't want to, pick a fight because he doesn't want to get divorced, or he doesn't want to, sleep on the couch. Whatever the case is, right? He might be just not wanting to press the line or behave in a way that's normal or natural for him because of the things that he has to lose. So that child is going to grow up, let's say for lack of a strong father figure, learning that this is okay. He's going to have some sort of simp tendencies until he grows out of that. So that's 3 right there, right? We got young men, single moms, not having a strong father figure, right? And then maturity. Maturity, I would say, is number 4. Men who are simps, they're not mature enough to realize that the game that they're in, whether that's red pill, blue pill, doesn't matter. It's all a form of maturity. Once you mature enough, you decide to get to a point where, hey, I'm going to extend my hand out to shake your hand. It's your job to reciprocate, right? That's a maturity thing. When you're young, you're just kind of like, I just hope that this happens, and like I'm gonna force this handshake, and I'm gonna try to get you to be my friend, right? As you mature, you learn to live with the fact that not everybody's for you, and that's okay. You're not going to vibe with everybody. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. But there's a way to navigate through life and be respectful and not stepping on any toes. And then number 5. Number 5, I think, is going to be the biggest one because it's the area right now that most men, including myself, for a very long time struggle with, which is liking yourself. When you don't like yourself, you look for outside validation in a lot of different ways. When you truly like yourself and like spending time with yourself, you won't tolerate any foolishness. You won't tolerate disrespect. You carry yourself different. You walk different. You breathe different. Your confidence is different. And people can pick that up. People can pick that up. I promise you, people can pick that up. When you like yourself, you don't overthink many situations. You trust your gut. You make a decision and you're firm by it. That's what happens when you like yourself. That's very different than being confident and just, learning how to put on a mask at work. We're talking about genuinely liking yourself, being okay with telling someone exactly how your day is going. Not sugarcoating it, not making yourself seem more fun than you are, not making yourself seem more rich than you are, more attractive than you are. You just generally and genuinely like yourself. And I think right now, with the way that society is messaging men and how we're taught that we're just not enough and we need to provide and we need to do this and we need to be this way, I think more men are going to feel like they don't like themselves. And because of that, they're not going to fully know themselves because they don't know what it's like to like themselves, let alone love themselves. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Think about when was the last time you saw a dude that looked like he liked hanging out with himself. I think most of us just kind of feel like, oh, this is cool. Right? But there's like no outward excitement. But I guess no one will show outward excitement about liking themselves. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you meet someone or you see someone out in public and your eyes gravitate towards them, you look at them and you size them up, whether they're attractive, whether they're fit, whether they look like they have good fashion, good taste, whatever. And then you start to look at them in the sense of that person looks like they like themselves because they put this effort into it and they make it look easy. That's very different than the dude who puts on all designer, Rolexes, watches, chains, a loud car, loud music. Because as you learn and you mature, you realize that person wants other people to like him. He doesn't like himself, which is why he wants so much attention, because he's trying to get people to like him without him having to do anything. He just wants to be liked by all of these things, which is the complete opposite of liking yourself, because you are hiding behind things to make people like you. So those are my reasons. That's what I think. We're never going to stop simps ever, because I think it's a spectrum, and I think as a man you learn how to grow out of it. And the only cure for that would be if men had women and we got married and the man was the head of the household, and that way the son could see what it's like to grow up as a leader and not be a simp because he has a masculine figure around him that shows him what it's like to get things done and to be respected. And I just don't think that that's going to happen in the masses the way that it should. So I think simping is just going to get worse and worse and worse until men reach a certain age and they grow out of it, or they never grow out of it and we just kind of make peace with it. I don't know. That's what I think. Y'all let me know. What y'all think?